Greg Philippe, stonemason extraordinaire, welcome to the Earful Tower podcast.
Thank you very much, Oliver.
It's a treat to be in here surrounded by limestone, and it's already on my fingers and on my clothes. Is this something that you have to deal with all the time?
Of course, that's why I wear only clear clothes, not like you. I was warned.
I made the mistake from the beginning. I want to talk a lot about stone and stone cutting and your alleyway that you're in here, because it's a fascinating part of Paris. Yeah. But if we rewind a little bit, you studied to be a lawyer and then you became a stonemason. It doesn't sound like a typical career path.
In French, we say that the law is a path for everything, even to stonemasonry. It's funny, but yes. But not only the law. After that, I worked in the wine business. I had several professional lives.
Right. I mean, does that mean that no one becomes a lawyer in Paris? Everyone just becomes something else?
My brother studied the law, and he became he had a restaurant after that. So it was a joke between us, because I am restoring and he has a restaurant also.
Tell me about, before we get into the nitty-gritty of it, I'm curious, what is it about stone and stonemasonry that attracts you? What draws you to it?
When I was a kid, I used to play with stones. I had a fascination for this material, and when I was studying the law, I made some sculpture by myself, and I loved it. And then I was very bored with the law, and then after that I worked in the wine business. But one day I decided to go in the direction what I wanted to do always, in fact, to touch this material, to have the contact with this material. And I knew a stonemason, and he told me, it's easy, you can change and learn this profession, and you can see what I am doing. So it was not a dream, it was not, I knew exactly what is the job.
And I mean, like, now here in the Marais, you're doing classes where you teach people how to carve stone. But you've done other things beside that as well? Like, you've worked on building things first, right?
Yes. For example, I did McDonald's from Réaumur Street in Paris.
Hang on, what do you mean? What do you mean? Which one? Whereabouts is that?
Réaumur, Rue des Petits Carreaux. Okay. On the cross of the two streets, there is a big McDonald's, and they wanted to make something beautiful with the stone, with the limestone on the first ground, because it was all destroyed. So they asked me and another stonemason to repair, to restore, to renew it. So yes, I had some workplaces like this, or a small church, and also creations like fountains, staircase, things like this.
Was the dream, now I know that you didn't work on Notre Dame, is that a sore question for me to ask about?
I was thinking about this many times, but for me the most important is that the work has been done, because my heart was broken. Yeah, I cried when I saw the fire live. I remember I was driving, but I had tears in my eyes, and it was crazy.
Were you thinking about it, because you've worked on churches and stuff, were you thinking when it was burning from like a professional perspective of what damage was happening? Because I think most people were just thinking, this is sad, this is my favorite building, this is a church. Were you thinking, oh gosh, this is a whole different level? You know, where was your mind when it was burnt?
You mean that it was not possible to restore that? Oh no, for me it was sure. We can do that, and we did that. I was sure.
So you were crying, but you were thinking at the same time, don't worry, we'll fix this.
Of course, I remember President Macron said, we have to find 5,000 stonemasons. I was thinking, no, it's crazy. We don't.
I can do it myself.
And yes, and we need 7 years to make a good stonemason. So if you want to restore it in 5 years, how can we do that? Yeah. We have enough stonemasons in France.
And is it the same limestone on Notre Dame as the ones that you carve in here?
Absolutely. You can touch this one. This one is from the factory in north of Paris at 80 kilometers, Bonneuil-en-Valois, Carrière du Clocher. It's two brothers, Gauchy brothers, very nice people, very, very human, and they give this kind of stone for Notre Dame. So it's the same.
The same stone, so the same limestone from north of Paris.
From the same place. But you have several places, huh? Not only one, because it's a huge project, of course.
Well, you know, there was people talking about the stones in Notre Dame being that it was like blanche, that it was whiter than it was before. Is that just because they cleaned it, or is it because it's a different kind of stone?
Yes, because it was clean, I think. Because the stone, when it's in the ground, it's more yellow. After that, when it's dry, it becomes white.
Right. Okay. And the piece that you just touched there, a 4 kilo piece. We'll talk about the carving in a second, but I want to give some perspective to people listening at home who maybe have never considered how important limestone is to Paris. Mm-hmm. Like, this city is made of limestone, right?
Yes, of course.
What percentage of everything we see is limestone?
95 minimum, yes, of course, because you have in every French region different kind of stones. If you are going to Bretagne, it's granite. If you are going in the east, it's sandstone. Mm-hmm. If you are going in the south, you can have some marmor. And in Paris, it's limestone. Mm. Of course, we can take some stones from other regions. For example, for the grounds, we like to use the Burgundy limestone. Comblanchien, for example, it's very, very high quality limestone because it's very hard. We don't have hard limestone in Paris, except some Liais de Saint-Maximin, but it's very rare.
But do you mean like when you say hard, you mean for the grounds, like the pavements and stuff like that?
Yes, and the first step of the first floor. Yeah. For example, in Panthéon, you have some grès sandstone. Yeah. Everywhere.
You know, you just make me think in Clermont-Ferrand,
right.
Everything is black down there.
Ah,
it's like volcanic stone or something.
Probably.
Have you not worked down there?
I never went. No.
Oh man, I can't believe I know something about stone that you didn't know. Okay, let's talk about this alley. To put it in perspective, if you've come to the Marais before, I think it's probably unlikely that you've walked down. Is it Rue du Prévôt? Is that?
Rue du Prévôt, yes. It was in the Middle Age, Rue Percée, as you know, in the 13th century. So it's one of the oldest streets in Paris, and it's very interesting to see the architecture of the street, like in Middle Age, even the pavement, very nice. But it's also like in the Middle Age, with some people who have no knowledge about sanitaries or things like this.
You mean it's still in the middle?
We are still in the Middle Age for some people, yes, at 100%.
So I think you're in a difficult position here because your atelier is on this street, and obviously you want people to come, and it's hard to explain. Like, I'll try and put it delicately. There are still it's still got a way to go before it's part of the beautiful Marais, but it's got the enormous potential here.
Huge.
Enormous. And we met because I take my walking tours down this exact street because I love this street. Mm-hmm. And it seems to me that the potential for this street is starting to be understood. With people like you guys opening, you've got a woodworker just a little bit down the way. Is the town hall helping to turn this into a more sanitary street?
I hope so. I wrote to the mairie before the Olympic Games, but they were in the rush, of course, so I understand. But now it should be good to talk once again about that, because it's not so complicated. Since I am there, it's open, and there is much less people doing dirty things because they see that there is an activity. And if there is some kids working there, they will never do that.
Exactly. So what happened is you moved here in October 2024. Mm-hmm. And before then, because it was such a quiet little corner, people would come here maybe to get away from the eyes of the law, to, I don't know, even to, pee in the corner or whatever they were doing. People were sleeping here. As this starts to change, it becomes an exciting thing because it's a medieval alleyway, and you've got people working on these kind of trades like yourself that have been happening since before the Middle Ages.
Yes, that makes sense.
I'm excited.
Yeah, yes, it's possible to make something really authentic there, because the street is authentic, and this activity like stonemasonry or my neighbor working with the wood, it's very authentic, and that's what people want to see, to feel.
That's what I want too. And I like the idea that you do these ateliers, which is, I mean, I haven't done one yet. I want to. But the idea is people come in, they get a chunk of limestone, 3 kilos, practical enough to take home if you haven't done too much shopping in Paris. But you can come in here and carve your own thing. Is that the idea?
I will try to reduce the weight. I'm studying this actually. And also I think, like, why not to send it with the post? Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But the idea is they come in, like, over your shoulder for the people listening at home. There's sort of squares of limestone. Half of them have got pencil sketches. Is that a fleur-de-lis there?
Exactly.
And then half of them have been chiseled already. Do I get the idea that it's easier or harder than it looks?
No, it's very easy. It's the best secret that we have in stonemasonry. It's easy.
You guys aren't so talented.
For everybody, it looks complicated. It's because people are frightened and fascinated with the stone. They have fear with that.
People fear the stone.
Yes, because they have maybe too much respect. You know, it's like when you have a small team and you are playing against Real Madrid. You have too much respect. You don't want to beat it. But in fact, stone, if you follow the steps, you draw and then you begin to
Carve.
Okay. It's not complicated. Yeah. Everybody succeeds.
That's what I like to hear. We've been talking for a while now. I want to wind this up by asking a very particular question. Mm-hmm. And regular listeners to the Earful Tower will either be rolling their eyes now or excited to hear me talk about it. But the Philippe Auguste wall, the enceinte de Philippe Auguste, it's no secret that I love this wall. And I'm excited to talk to a stone expert about it. For anyone new to this show, I'm talking about an 800-year-old wall that once ran around Paris and has largely disappeared, but big chunks of it remain. Mm-hmm. Firstly, what's your opinion on that wall? Fan, not fan?
Oh, I love this wall, of course, and it's very close to this place. You have the Lycée Charlemagne and all the towers still remaining. But always I'm thinking it's very low wall, don't you think?
I mean, yeah.
It's not easy to climb. It's not hard to climb.
But I think they had archers up there ready to fire arrows at anyone that climbed, right?
Probably.
But I mean, it must have been... Yeah, good point. I never really thought about that. It's not that high.
And it's small. You can see how small Paris was at this time. It's crazy.
But what about the craftsmanship? As one stonemason, looking back on what people could do 800 years ago, is it impressive? Did they do a good job?
It's small stones. It's not very big stones like you can see on several castles everywhere in France. With really big stone. But of course, the walls are very large. Sure, but the first épaisseur.
The first. What do you mean?
The first level of stone. It's like stone, but not
like the foundation.
Yes, it's not very big stone. Yeah. And then behind you must have a lot of mortars, everything.
I'm getting the sense that you're not so impressed from not really.
No, but who attacked Paris? Nobody. Yeah. Even the Vikings, they stopped.
There you go. So maybe it was just to scare people away.
Yes, Paris had there were some wars, but not too much.
Okay.
But you can visit, the Saint-Gervais church just near of there.
Which one? Where is it?
Saint-Gervais, Saint-Protais. You see in front of Hôtel de Ville.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
It's very beautiful, but it was attacked in the First War.
Of course, yeah. Okay, so interesting to hear your perspective on the wall. Not a huge fan, but you got to admit 800 years and having still big chunks of it around is something.
We can go to visit this place and to touch the stones.
That sounds like a great idea. Let's go and do it now. For everybody listening to the podcast, I'm chatting with Grégory Philippe. What's the name of this atelier?
Atelier Grégory Philippe.
And I will be linking to it below so you can come and visit. And the classes, how often do you do the classes in English? How often do you do them?
Yes, in English, in German, in French.
And how often?
How?
Every day, every week?
It depends. It's on booking. Actually, I'm working with some websites, and it's possible to book. But all my information on my website, tailleurpierre.fr.
Brilliant. I'll be linking that below. Hopefully, lots of Earful Tower listeners and viewers will come and check you out and say hello. Remember, everybody, when you do come, not to wear black clothes so you don't leave traces of limestone all over the metro on the way home. But
this is not like ketchup. Huh? You can clean it very easily.
Thanks for the tip. Greg, thanks so much for your time, and I'm looking forward to exploring limestone with you in the future.
Oh, very soon. I'm very curious to see what you want to draw and to make.
I'm curious too. On that note, I'll thank you for your time, and let's get carving.